Australia has long been a top destination for international students. Its world-class universities, multicultural environment, and post-study opportunities attract hundreds of thousands each year. But alongside education, many students also rely on part-time work to cover tuition, living costs, and housing. In 2025, the Australian government has announced tighter rules on student work rights. These changes directly affect how much students can work, how much money they need to show before arrival, and how education providers must ensure genuine enrollment. In this video, we'll break down what these new rules mean, why they're happening, how they will impact students, and what applicants can do to prepare. From July 2025 onwards, several key updates will come into effect. Work hour limit. International students will now be limited to 24 hours per week during study periods. Previously, the cap was 48 hours per fortnight, equivalent to 24 hours per week, but enforcement will be stricter, with electronic monitoring through tax and employer records. Holiday work rights. Full-time work will still be allowed during official semester breaks, but short-term holidays or course gaps will not qualify. Increased financial proof. Students applying for a visa must now show at least 29,000 Australian dollars in savings, up from previous requirements, to demonstrate they can sustain themselves without excessive work. Higher visa fees. The student visa fee has increased to 850 Australian dollars in 2025, reflecting higher processing and compliance costs. English language requirements. The minimum IELTS score is now 6.5 overall, with no band lower than 6.0. For health and education-related courses, a minimum of 7.0 overall applies. Genuine student test. Authorities will scrutinise applicants more closely to ensure they are primarily coming to Australia to study, not to work. The government's reasons are threefold. Education integrity. Some students were using study visas primarily as a backdoor into the labour market. The government wants to protect the reputation of its education system. Housing pressure. Australia faces a housing shortage, and rapid growth in student numbers has worsened rental crises in major cities. Workforce balance. While students help fill labour shortages in sectors like hospitality, the government argues excessive work can harm academic performance and reduce long-term benefits. The message is clear: studying should come first, work should come second. For many international students, these changes will bring both challenges and adjustments. Reduced earnings. Students working part-time will have limited income, which may not be enough to cover high rents and living costs in cities like Sydney and Melbourne. Higher entry barriers. The increased savings requirement and visa fee will make it harder for lower-income families to send children abroad. Academic focus. With reduced work rights, students may have more time to focus on studies, which the government sees as a positive. Stress and planning. Financial stress could rise for students relying heavily on part-time jobs. Previously, some students could get away with working more hours because of loose enforcement. From 2025, however, authorities will use tax file number checks linked to student visas, employer reporting obligations, requiring businesses to confirm work hours, random audits of student work records. Penalties for breaching conditions include visa cancellation, fines for employers and students, re-entry bans for repeat offenders. This shows that the government is serious about ensuring compliance. The visa fee hike from around 710 Australian dollars to $850 may not seem massive, but combined with the requirement of showing $29,000 in savings, it significantly raises the cost of studying abroad. For families in developing countries, this could mean months, or even years, of extra savings before applying. Language requirements are also tightening. In 2025, general student visa applicants must achieve IELTS 6.5 overall. Education and healthcare students must achieve IELTS 7.0 overall. Equivalent scores in TOEFL, PTE, and Cambridge exams are also accepted. This is designed to ensure students can succeed academically and integrate better into society. This new assessment replaces the previous genuine temporary entrant requirement. Students must now show clear evidence of academic intent. Authorities will assess whether the chosen course matches the student's background and career goals. Migration officers will be stricter in identifying those who may be using education visas as a path to unskilled work. This adds another layer of preparation for applicants, who must carefully document their motivations and study plans. Not all outcomes are negative. Let's consider both sides. Who benefits? Genuine students with strong academic focus will face less competition from those entering mainly to work. Education providers may see higher completion rates as students spend more time studying. Employers in skilled sectors may benefit from graduates who are better prepared academically. Who loses? Students from lower-income families, who cannot easily meet the $29,000 savings requirement. Businesses in hospitality and retail, which rely heavily on student workers for long hours. Students in high-rent cities, who may struggle to cover living costs with limited work rights. These reforms also tie into Australia's broader migration strategy. Skilled migration pathways remain open but competitive. Student visas will now be more strictly separated from labour migration. Long-term residency options may depend more on completing advanced studies in high-demand fields, such as IT, healthcare, and engineering. For those planning to apply in or after 2025, here are key preparation steps. Plan financially. Secure proof of $29,000 savings before applying. Improve English skills. Aim for scores higher than the minimum to strengthen your case. Choose courses carefully. Select a program aligned with your career path to pass the genuine student test. Limit reliance on work. Budget realistically, assuming limited income from part-time jobs. Stay compliant. Never exceed 24 hours per week during study. The risks of visa cancellation are high. Pros. Protects the integrity of Australia's education system. Reduces housing and labour market pressure. Encourages academic success and genuine study focus. Cons. Raises barriers for financially weaker students. Reduces workforce flexibility in industries like retail and hospitality. May discourage some students from choosing Australia over competitor countries like Canada or the UK. Australia's decision to tighten student work rights in 2025 is part of a broader effort to balance education, migration, and economic needs. For international students, the path has become stricter, but it is still open, especially for those who prepare carefully, focus on their studies, and comply with all conditions. If you're applying soon, remember, success now depends less on part-time work opportunities and more on academic achievement and financial readiness. This video is for educational purposes only. For personalized advice, always consult a registered migration agent or the official Department of Home Affairs website. White Right Pointing Backhand Index. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on visas, immigration policies, and Australia's political news.